After many rumors, the World Superbike stoppie sensation Toprak Razgatlıoğlu is finally coming to MotoGP, having signed a deal with Pramac Yamaha to ride for them in 2026. There have been a lot of questions surrounding this move, but perhaps chief among them is, how well can he actually do in MotoGP? I mean, yes, he has been absolutely dominant in World Superbike over the past couple of years, but those are completely different machines, and it's pretty widely accepted that the talent pool in MotoGP is just at a little bit of a higher standard. So how well can a World Superbike champion really do after moving to MotoGP? Well, fortunately for us, Toprak isn't the first. There have been 7 riders who have been in a similar situation to Toprak's. So let's take a look at each of them, and then see what trends we can find and how well we can realistically expect Toprak to do next year. I'm B, this is the Beehive Paddock, and today we're looking at every World Superbike champion who made the move to MotoGP. Real quick, if you enjoy the video, please drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to get this out into the YouTube algorithm. It only takes a few seconds and it massively helps, especially on a smaller channel like mine. Scott Russell is the first rider on our list today. An American rider who found great success in AMA Superbike before moving to World Superbike. He would win the Superbike title in 1993 with Kawasaki, and would come second the following season. In 1995, he would have a rough start to the year, with engine problems haunting him at every turn. 6 races into the season and his best result was just 6th place. So he left. After Kevin Schwantz's unexpected retirement from Grand Prix racing, he came in to replace him at the Suzuki team. Russell would take over for the second half of the 500cc season, and would do pretty good for someone in that situation, finishing 11th in his first Grand Prix after just a single day of practice. Across the year, he would only log a single retirement, and even secured a top 5 finish in Brazil. He earned himself a full season with Suzuki in 1996, and would consistently fight for top 5 positions, finding 2 third places in Suzuka and Brno, and finishing 6th in the World Championship standings. But after that, he was done. He went back to the Superbike paddock, this time with Yamaha, and would never really do that much better than he had in Grand Prix racing. Russell really didn't have a terrible time with the transfer from World Superbike to MotoGP. I wish I could say the same for the next rider on our list. Troy Corser won the 1996 World Superbike Championship with Ducati, and he would secure himself a ride with Promoter Yamaha in the 500cc class in 1997. He only managed 13th in the opening round of the season, and followed it up with 2 consecutive retirements, and then his team withdrew from the championship. Yep, just straight up left. Fortunately, WCM picked up the pieces and became Red Bull Yamaha, allowing Corser and his teammate Catalora to continue their season. Unfortunately, this didn't do much to improve Corser's results. 12th place, another retirement, and 2 14th place finishes, and it was his turn to leave, cancelling his contract with the team after just 7 rounds and finishing his Grand Prix career with 11 total points. He would go back to racing production bikes, and would go on to have one of the most prolific careers in Superbike history, securing himself another title, 33 wins, 130 podiums, over 377 total race starts. 5 years after Corser, another Australian rider named Troy would win a World Superbike Championship with Ducati and decide to go to MotoGP. Troy Bayliss secured the 2001 World Superbike title, and after a less than successful 2002 season, was offered a role on Ducati's first MotoGP bike. Fortunately, Ducati's bike was competitive immediately, and Bayliss would have a good season, consistently in the top 10, securing 3 podiums, 6 in the World Championship, and very nearly winning Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, 2004 was less good, with Bayliss retiring from half of the races that year and only finding a single podium, finishing the championship in 14th place. That podium was enough to convince Camel Yamaha to give him a ride in 2005, where he wouldn't find much success, now fighting for top 10s. A badly broken arm would put him on the sidelines to end the season and end his Grand Prix career. He would return to the World Superbike paddock with Ducati in 2006, and in his comeback campaign, immediately won the title again, with his championship season featuring a streak of 8 consecutive wins. After his success that year, Ducati turned to Bayliss when Sete Gibernau was injured and they needed a replacement, offering him one last ride on a MotoGP bike at that year's closing round in Valencia. Bayliss would have an incredible weekend and would lead the pack home, securing his first and only Grand Prix win, Ducati's first ever 1-2 alongside his former teammate Loris Capirossi, and becoming the only wildcard rider to win in the modern era of the sport. After this phenomenal achievement, he would return to World Superbike again, securing himself a 3rd title and eventually finishing his career with 52 wins and 94 podiums. Colin Edwards is notably the first Superbike champion to really make the MotoGP change stick. After winning the Superbike title twice in 2000 and 2002, with a fairly dominant campaign the second time around, he would move to MotoGP in the same season as Bayliss, 2003. Initially, Edwards found less success aboard the 3-cylinder Aprilia, but unlike Bayliss, would go on to have a 12-year MotoGP career. He would sign with movie star Honda for 2004 and would find his first podiums and immediately became a top 10 finisher. After this campaign, he would become a Yamaha mainstay, riding for their factory team until 2007 before moving to Tech 3 until 2011. He was a consistent top 10 finisher for most of his career, and he had races where he came so close to securing a win. But unfortunately for him, he ended up holding the record for the most Premier Class starts without a win at 196. He would finish off his career riding some less successful manufacturers, Suter, FTR Kawasaki, and would leave halfway through his 2014 season with Forward Yamaha. Despite never finding that win, he did find 12 podiums, 3 pole positions, 3 fastest laps, and, on certain days, was able to compete with the best of the best. Next up on our list is Neil Hodgson, and he would start that championship season with an incredible 9-race-long winning streak, and he would finish the season over 100 points clear of second place. Second place being his own teammate, Ruben Jaus. Both riders would be given rides on Ducati's new satellite MotoGP team in 2004. However, Hodgson would unfortunately find the bike to be very different to Ducati's production bikes, having very extreme power delivery and overall just finding it difficult to ride and not really matching his style. He would struggle a lot, starting the season with 3 consecutive retirements and not finding a top 10 until 6 rounds in. Even after that, he would struggle to stay in the top 10. He would finish the season in 17th while his teammate won Rookie of the Year and would choose to stop racing MotoGP after that. His World Superbike seat had been replaced and he wasn't exactly keen on going to a satellite Superbike team, so he ended up moving to AMA Superbikes instead, and wouldn't exactly find much success there either. After being a constant World Superbike threat in the mid-2000s, British rider James Toseland would win his second Superbike title in 2007, and would move to MotoGP to race alongside Colin Edwards in 2008 aboard a Tech 3 Yamaha. He would prove to be fine. He was a semi-consistent top 10 finisher, not really doing anything to set himself apart, but earning himself a seat for the following year, where he would see slightly worse results. He was a solid mid-pack rider, but ultimately would head back to World Superbike in 2010, not really finding the same results he had during his prime, but still securing some podiums. Fortunately, he would retire after the 2011 season due to injury. The final rider on our list is Ben Spies. A 3-time AMA Superbike champion, he moved to World Superbike in 2009 and won the title on his first try with 14 wins aboard a Yamaha. Yamaha then offered him a MotoGP ride the following year, and he would wildcard at Valencia in 2009, finishing 7th after qualifying 12th. Spies would immediately prove successful in 2010, with 2 podiums, only 2 retirements, and not a single finish below 8th place. He would rise to 6th in the championship and win Rookie of the Year. Because of his great rookie campaign, he was chosen to be Valentino Rossi's replacement at the factory Yamaha team after the doctor left for Ducati in 2011. Spies would do even better with factory support, this time never finishing outside the top 6, finding 4 podiums, and becoming the last American to win a MotoGP Grand Prix that year in the Netherlands. He would finish that year 5th in the championship. Spies would go on to have a tough 2012 season, only finding the top 5 about half the time, recording 5 retirements, and missing the last 2 rounds with injury. In 2013, he would move to Pramac Ducati, and would find a 10th and a 13th place before a series of injuries took him out of the season, and eventually out of racing entirely. So now that we've seen how previous riders have done, what trends can we find here, and which of these riders is the most similar to Toprak? Most of them were able to secure podiums, and all of them were able to find the points consistently, which is more than some people think Toprak will do. Frankly, not all of these riders are good comparisons to Toprak at all, but I do think that one of them is a near-perfect comparison, and that would be Colin Edwards. They're both 2-time champions with utterly dominant seasons under their belt, and crucially, Toprak is 29 years old, the same age that Edwards was when he made the switch. This is important because that's older than most MotoGP rookies, and it's another factor that has some people seriously doubting Razgatlıoğlu's potential. However, one thing that differentiates him from Edwards is his unique position in regards to the tire supplier. When Edwards came into the series, riders had their choice of tire, but now all riders have their tires supplied by Michelin, until 2027, when the series will switch to Pirellis, the same supplier currently being used for World Superbike. Of course, the tires won't be the same, but Toprak's familiarity could give him enough of an edge to get him to the front of the pack on a weekend where everyone else is struggling. Personally, I'm optimistic. I can see Toprak having a long career with decent results, similar to Edwards, some podium finishes, and if he gets factory support, maybe even going for some wins. With that being said, is that really what he wants? It might be difficult to go from dominating championships to struggling to fight for podiums. Who knows? Maybe he'll give everyone a surprise. I sure hope so. That would be something to see. Toprak is a super entertaining rider to watch, and honestly, no matter what comes of it, I'm just looking forward to see what he'll do. I hope he can get that rear wheel off the ground and maybe, just maybe, join the BMW MotoGP team that I personally think is coming. And that's the video. If you're enjoying the content, please drop a like and subscribe to help get this out into the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much for watching, and a special thank you to my channel members. We have MVP2112, Venturian CRO, Motosapien, Sean, B, Jack the World's Fastest Maori, Drew Gibbs, Really Very Bored 1, Carl Ruppersberg, and brand new member Schmalutin. You guys are the biggest supporters of the channel, and it means a lot that you help me out. Thank you very much, and to everyone, have a fantastic day.